I'm John from Imagine Crafts, and I'm here to show you how to make this card using Kaleidacolor, Versamark, and a few other must-have Imagine Crafts products. We're going to start making this card using glossy white cardstock as our background paper, and I'm going to be using the Tahiti Kaleidacolor ink pad, and I'm going to click that together, and using my brayer, I'm just going to pick up some of those great colors. And I've got myself all inked up, and now I'm just going to randomly roll across the background paper. Pick up a little piece right there to add a little. Now you can do this in an actual pattern if you'd like, or you can do like I did here and just kind of do it random. I kind of like the random look a little better. So you can see we've got that great background color all ready to go. And what's nice about the Kaleidacolor is it's already dry. Now that my background paper is created, I'm going to take my Spellbinders Embossabilities folder, and this is in the Venetian, and I'm going to use this pattern here, the floral pattern, and I'm just going to lay down my background paper in there, sandwich this down, and then I'm going to place this between my base plate and my raspberry adapter plate, and I'm going to run this through my grand caliber machine. And you can see I have the embossed pattern now on my paper. Next we're going to create our 3 small layering embellishment pieces, and to do this I'm going to use my glossy paper again, and I'm going to be stamping with Versamark and then embossing with clear embossing powder and then putting the edge around of each piece. This is going to let the white glossy cardstock pop right through. So I have my fern stamp from Avery L, and I'm just going to open up my Versamark ink pad. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that up, get it nice and juicy. And then I'm just going to stamp right down onto my glossy white cardstock. And you can kind of see it in here, a little bit hard to see just because the Versamark does stamp clear. That's why it's a watermark stamp pad. Now I'm going to take some of our clear embossing powder. Just going to put that on there. You can see that a little bit better with the embossing powder on there. And now I'm just going to heat set this real quick with our heat tool. And now we're going to add the little white edge around our piece. And there's 1 or 2 ways you can do that. You can take your piece and just put it onto your Versamark pad and run it along the edge like that. And since I have a little extra embossing powder, I can just dunk the edge in here, tap off the excess, and then heat that. If you feel that your edges are a little too jagged on this, you can also use a Versamark pen for making your edges. And I like to use the brush tip. And you can just go right along the edge. Again, dunk in the embossing powder, heat that, and work your way around. Now it's time to color our 3 small embellishment layering pieces. Again, I'm going to be using the Tahiti Kaleidacolor, which I have opened up so I can pick up individual colors with one of my ink blushers. And we're going to start with the fern, and I want to do more kind of a browns and the mustard yellow color from the Tahiti pads. So I've got the first color on there. I'll just add a second one. And I'll put a third color on, a little bit of green, and I'll hold this up so you can see a little better. Spin that guy around. So you can see it's got that nice color on there. I'm going to add a little more green just to make it pop out a little bit. Just around the bottom here. There we go. So I have this piece here, and if you notice on the portions where the embossing powder is, there's a little bit of color on there. Because this is a dye-based ink, that's not going to be a problem. I'm just going to pick up a paper towel, spray a little bit of our ink push number 9 onto it, and I'm just going to wipe that right off, and that's going to make the color jump right out. It'll also blend the colors together a little bit too. What's nice about this, even though I put the ink push on there, it's already dry. So let's get started with some assembly. As you can tell, this is white glossy cardstock, which is going to be the card base. And I already have my adhesive on the back of my colored layered cardstock piece. I'm just going to eyeball center this. right here in the middle. And now we're going to start doing our layering pieces. We're going to start with a piece of teal cardstock, and I already pre-measured this down just using my pieces after I cut them. And I've already put some dimensional glue dots on the back of these, so we're going to put our sentiment down here at the bottom, like so. Then we're going to add our fern. And lastly, our flowers. There is all our pieces put onto our backing piece. Now, have a piece of sunflower yellow ribbon. You can see I already have some adhesive on here. I'm going to put this down like so and just fold over my edges. So the back looks just like that. Now, I have a piece of Sejoli coordinating ribbon, and all I'm going to do is tie my bow right in the front. Now that we have our bow tied to finish this off on our embellishment layer, we're just going to eyeball center this down. And you have the perfect card with the sentiment of thinking of you to send to that someone special.